It's time for me to touch grass, so I'm out in the woods this week enjoying nature and high res. But of course I'm not going to leave you stranded without Soulframe content. So today we're ranking every deer in the game. Now, you may be thinking, are there really enough deer in Soulframe to fill a tier list? And of course the answer is no. But that won't stop me from trying. So we're going to be generous with our definition of deer and get creative with our tiers. Okay, so the top of every tier list is S tier. In order to get an S rating on this list, the deer will have to be a deer. Come on, you think I'm going to rank a deer below S? That's crazy. Underneath S tier, we're going to have deer vibes, for things that capture the essence of a deer even if they don't quite fit in S tier. Then we've got deer shaped. It's trying to be a deer, but it's still not a deer. And finally, we have Avocott. This is not equivalent to F tier. Poor Avocott, I would never! This tier is for things that are cute and we want to include even though they are not at all deer. Alright, so we're going to go tier by tier and we're going to rank the deer within their tiers because I feel like it. Starting with S tier. Obviously the little fawns are going to be our first S tier, but I want to rank the free fawns separately from the little baby deer in cages. Why? Because you can't pet the free fawns and it makes me very sad. I mean, I'm happy for them because they're free, but you can't interact with them at all, and that's gotta knock them down a bit. Caged deer are definitely the best deer as far as I'm concerned because you can pet them. So cute! Speaking of baby deer, we can't forget Garen Rude. I think I want to rank baby Garen and grown-up Garen separately because they have really different vibes. I love baby Garen. DE did a really fantastic job on the design here. So cute and mystical and majestic at the same time. But you can't interact with baby Garen, so he can't get a rank higher than caged deer. Grown-up Garen is not as cute as baby Garen, but your envoy does get a direct interaction with him. It's not the adorable head pats that caged deer get, but I do love Garen's sass. Since we're already splitting things up a bunch, we're going to need to rank the Torment Stag and Vadagar Stags too. These have to be at the bottom of S tier because they are technically deer, but I've definitely seen someone refer to the Torment Stag as a cool goat. Yeah, okay, the antlers do kind of look like goat horns. I'm putting the Vadagar Stag at the bottom of S tier and Torment Stag right above because the Torment Stag has that really cool transformation sequence that's gotta boost him up a bit. Garen's Spirit Deer also have to go into S tier. What I'm talking about here are the ghostly blue stags that appear when you use the Stampede Pact ability. They are technically deer and more identifiable as deer than the cool goats, so they're going to go right in the middle of S tier. Now, I was really hoping that by the time I made this video I could take this bit out, but sadly I do also have to rank the collector deer. These are the caged fawns that appear with the collector fights that you can't free if you don't have a Thunderstone, and you know what, I'm making a new tier just for these guys, sad tier.
Free the deer!
Let's move on to our next tier, deer vibes. I made this tier specifically for one reason, the Garen Rude Pact. How does a pact fit in a deer tier list? I'm so glad you asked. You could certainly make an argument about the aesthetic having deer vibes, in which case we can go ahead and add Gathanan and the Royal Tines here as well. And the aesthetics definitely do figure into this, but honestly I just wanted an excuse to include this clip. I want so badly to put this in S tier, but it's technically not a deer, so it's going at the very top of deer vibes. Okay, moving on to deer shaped. This is where we're going to put the Chads. What are the Chads? These are the enemies wearing deer skull helmets. The Soulframe community has referred to this guy as Sword Chad in various Discord threads, so that obviously makes these guys Axe Chad and Shield Chad. The Chads don't really have deer vibes, but they are going for the deer shape, which is understandable. I'd love to have some kind of antler crown cosmetic for my envoy. Besides the Garen Rude effect, of course, something that I could wear all the time. Anyway, I think Sword Chad and Axe Chad are tied for me in terms of rankings, but Shield Chad is definitely at the bottom of the pack just because shields are annoying to fight with a bow. The Chads can also appear in Banneret form, and in these cases, the axe and sword get bumped back down to the bottom of the tier. Sword and Axe Chads can imbue their weapons with what looks like voltaic energy for ranged attacks. This isn't such a big deal when fighting the normal Chads, but the Banneret's ranged attacks have huge hitboxes, significantly larger than the visual representation, making them super annoying to fight. I don't think I'd mind the size of these projectiles if I could see where they are. Until this gets adjusted, Banneret have to sit at the bottom of this tier. Finally, in Avocott tier, we have the other adorable creatures awaiting rescue on Midrath: squirrels, beavers, and bunnies. The chonky beavers are super cute with their little paw shake animation, but bunnies win this one for me with their sweet little cuddle. I do like the squirrels, it's just hard to compete with chonky little guys and bunny snuggles. Oh, and we can't forget Orangul's pups. No matter which one you chose, they've got to go at the top of this tier because they've got 2 different interaction animations and they're both adorable. Thanks for sharing this bit of Soulframe humor with me and for supporting my growing channel. I'll be back next week with more of my usual Soulframe content, but I do have one more trip planned towards the end of the summer. I'm going to pre-record an AMA-style video to share with you all then. Comment below with your questions and I'll pick some to answer in the video. In the meanwhile, I hope you're enjoying the Festival of the Circade, and until next time, happy hunting!